So Shawn Ryan just had AJ Gentile. I don't know if his name's Gentile or Gentile, but he has the Y-Files. He has a YouTube channel. And they just had a long, lengthy conversation. I'm about 3 hours into it. It's overall very, very good. They talked about a lot of things that I'm very interested in. Of course, the moon landing, and they're getting into the Giants. But there was something that has stood out to me, what Shawn Ryan said on his show, that it might fly under the radar, but to me, it kind of stood out because it sounded like he kind of holds back what he shares sometimes because he thinks it's going to influence people's decisions. And I want to take a look at this. The very first thing that kind of just piqued my interest is he said, I'm not going to cut anything from this video that we're doing, AJ, because AJ's like, you can cut this out if you want, but he's like, I'm not going to cut anything from this, but I just want to take a look at this and then hear what he has to say later on.
And then maybe this isn't that important.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, I'm not going to cut any of this. I mean, I think about that all the time. The one thing that I don't really have many regrets, but maybe I don't know if.
All right, I don't want to really get into what he's going to say right there, but that he said, I'm not going to cut anything from this video, but then we're going to hear later on that there are things that he has not even released videos of people that he has had on because he thought that they were trying to push a narrative that he did not think was either safe, or he thought that it was going to backfire him if they went on to other podcasts and just said something completely different. Or to me, I wish they would have went more into this, because to me, it seems like transparency is the key. If you're willing to share everything, people can make their own decisions. And the things that if he withheld something, that same person's going to go somewhere else and say the same thing somewhere else. So to me, I think he should release whatever video he has out there if it's anything worthy of anybody listening to. Don't be afraid of somebody getting the wrong impression because someone just completely misled people. But I want to take a look at this second clip. This is where he talks about and where he gets into things that he has withheld. It's very interesting.
Yeah, I think the media is over.
I do too. I think it will die with the baby boomer generation.
Yep.
I think it's done. And I see certain people that I think are injected into the YouTube podcast stratosphere that they try to create narratives, but it's tricky. You know, you could have somebody in here, and I think I've had one or two not realizing it until afterwards. But, you know, how it works is...
Wait a second. You feel like people have come in here to try to push a narrative?
Yeah.
Did you sniff it out?
Yeah.
Like while it was happening, you were like, wait a minute.
I've had interviews that I never released.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I've had a couple, not very many, but you know, when I was asking you about, do you feel that you take on a tremendous responsibility? I feel that I have a great responsibility when I'm diving into corruption, exposing something, exposing evil, whatever it may be. You have to fucking be careful with that because, you know, people base decisions off what is said in here. And I remember one specific example.
Okay. That right there, to me, because he's a Navy SEAL and he's been involved in the CIA. That itself, like those are very, very commendable things to have done in his life. Navy SEAL by far, CIA, but now CIA is like almost it's a terrible thing if you're involved, and people would try to distance themselves as much as possible because they just feel like the CIA is the evil ones, or the ones that are behind everything, just pulling the strings. But for him to say this, I don't know if it's being him conditioned into this thing that he's sniffing something out, which he has that background, he has that ability. But those videos, that if there's something there, I mean, I understand if you had a bad hair day or just the video was boring, it was stupid. But to say if something was out there that could have been beneficial for people to hear and could have put whoever this person is on blast, because that's the whole thing. People, we can comment, we can clarify, we can talk through things and say, well, really he meant this, and let's actually get to the bottom of this. And videos can just cover and go through things, hiding something or and I'm not saying he's necessarily hiding it. I don't know everything that was going on in all those videos, those interviews, those conversations he had. But if there was something there, I'm very surprised that he wouldn't actually just put it out there on blast. or at least come out with something and saying, it really wasn't anything. There really wasn't enough really there, but it sounds like there was. And he withheld it because he thought people were pushing a narrative that could be detrimental to people's decision making. But I think everybody, we are big boys, big girls, big everything, and it's like people can decide for themselves and they're not stupid, and it's when you start controlling something and not releasing something. It's his thing. It's like, who am I to say to him to release something? But I'm just talking about in general. Like, it's a bigger deal to have things just out there. Nobody's a perfect person. We make mistakes. We say things that are wrong. That's why we can clarify and make up for the wrong things that we say. So, all right. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, smash that like button. Follow me on X and Instagram @Brandon Fogel, and talk to you later. See you, everyone.